Karen Puzzles, Colours on Colours, completed it.
Hello and welcome to another video. So today I'm doing it a little bit different. I've not long got home from work and I'm just out walking the dog, and that's the time where I normally get 30-40 minutes to myself in peace and I get to gather all my thoughts. And most of the time what I'm thinking about is jigsaws. Who doesn't? So I thought, why not come on here as it's a lovely nice day and actually start doing an intro to a video. So I was watching some videos by a YouTuber called Karen Puzzles. If you've not heard of her, she's a very big influencer in the puzzle world. She's got a lot of followers and does a lot of really good quality videos on puzzling and anything to do with the puzzling community and puzzling world. So if you're not seeing it, it's worth having a little check out. What I'll do, I'll link her in the description. Anyways, one of the videos I came across was her actually showcasing one of her puzzles that she's made herself. I think she's done 3 now, and it's a puzzle that she's designed and had built by Ravensburger, and that's been released. Basically it's a gradient puzzle that is, come on Jess. Basically it is a gradient puzzle with a load of puzzle pieces on top. Come on. Sorry, the dog's getting away from me. So I thought, what puzzle would be better than a jigsaw puzzle that is designed for puzzlers by a puzzler? Bit of a tongue twister, but we got there. Yeah, so after I'd seen this, I thought, you know what, that would be fantastic to do. So I went on Amazon, I dropped an order, and hopefully it should be here today. If it is, when I get home and sorted, I will, yeah, I'll start doing the uncovering and show you what's to come. Anyway, before I go, I thought I'd better show you the view, because I live in the beautiful countryside and I'm very lucky, and this is about 2 minutes from my doorstep. And there's my lovely dog Jasmine. Anyway, once I get home and sorted, I'll show you a picture of the actual jigsaw.
So, it's now the evening and this parcel arrived this afternoon. So I'm going to open it and show you what puzzle it is. So if you order anything from Amazon, you'll know that this tape is the hardest tape in the world to open. So I have the Karen Puzzles 1000-piece Colours on Colours jigsaw. I'll just put that on there. So this, if you haven't heard of Karen Puzzles, she is well worth having a look. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that on the side. That's her, and she is a YouTube content creator who does stuff all about puzzles. And she was, she teamed up with Ravensburger to make this puzzle. This is actually the 3rd puzzle she's done, and I'll put a link in the description of one of the videos that I found where she actually went on and she talked about this puzzle and how she actually went and made it. It's really interesting because it shows how her whole concept and how she made it from other puzzles that she has to make this puzzle. So I'll link that. It's a really good one to watch. I hate opening boxes. So let's have a look at the pieces. So I'm actually really excited to open this puzzle because after watching that video, I know how much work went into creating this and just going through all the tones and everything. So I think the colours are going to be absolutely fantastic. So let us open her up. And of course I missed 2 stickers. I think this is the first Ravensburger puzzle I've opened that hasn't had the cellophane over the top. So that's kind of confused me. Anyway. Let me just find a good piece to show you. Oh, there you go, corner piece. So from that, it's perfect to see this is actually a puzzle of a puzzle almost. So you can see here you've got the lines of the puzzle within there, and each piece will have a tiny little piece of a puzzle. So I don't know how easy that's going to be, because I'm kind of feel that you might get confused with the actual shape of the puzzle and the shape of the puzzle on there as well. But yeah, it looks like a good puzzle, and I am excited to get started. One of the things I've noticed, I expected this to be quite a glossy finish just because of the puzzles that it was taken from. However, they're actually quite a matte finish, which is nice because I've got some big lights on here and you're not really getting a reflection much. So I think that's going to make it a lot easier, one, for filming, so it should make it a lot easier to see when you're filming, and also when I'm making it. I make a lot of my puzzles in the evening, so I'm using artificial light, which is a pain for puzzles because you get a lot of glare if they're too shiny. So glossy puzzles are a nightmare. Anyway, next step will be to start the sorting. Okay, so it's time for the main part of the video where I actually start puzzling. The first thing I'm going to do is to sort out all the puzzle pieces. So I'm going to open the box. I'm going to pour all the bits onto this board that I have. So I like to have a spare board where I've got all my sorted pieces on. I can then move that off the dining table, move it around, because if I'm puzzling on the dining table without boards and without being able to move it, I'm in the doghouse with the wife. So what I'm going to do is tip the pieces out, and then I'm going to go through and make some piles. I'll be making a pile of the edges, and then I'm going to look at color sorting. So I'll make different piles corresponding to each color on here. And as you can see from the picture, that should be quite easy to do. It's a very vibrant, colorful picture. So by the end of it, I should have a pile of edges, a pile of blues, a pile of greens, a pile of oranges, a pile of reddy pinks, and the purples. But before we start, the most important thing to do is to stick some music on. So I'm off to a country festival in a couple of weeks. So to get myself in the mood, I've made a playlist of all the songs and all the artists that are playing at the Country to Country 25 festival. So Alexa, play Country to Country 25.
Playing your playlist, Country to Country 25, on Amazon Music.
Right, enjoy the video. Right, there we have it. What time are we on? So I didn't quite remember to put this on, so literally I'd opened the box, poured the bits out, and then I realised I hadn't put the timer on. So I like to time all my videos. But we're up to 36 minutes, and annoyingly, my phone cut out about 30 seconds towards the end of that time lapse, but we missed the last few bits. So here we are with 6 piles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yep, 6 piles. The edge pieces were easy enough. Blue pieces were easy. Brown pieces, orangey pieces were easy. Greens were easy. Now these 2 piles here were a pain because there's a lot of bits in here. For example, this here. Now, in fact, I'm going to put that in there. Is that a purple? Is that a pink? It's very difficult to see. And when you look at the box, you know, it's just the merging points really. The merging points are what cause the trouble. So I kind of didn't know where things go. And even looking back now, that one there could possibly go in here, possibly in there, could even possibly go with these browns. But yeah, it just gets very difficult. As you see, they look so different. So I think that's going to be just the first sort. A lot harder than what I thought it was. But when I come to do these bits, I'm going to have to put them out and maybe do a quick resort again. But the only good thing is, by looking at the picture, you can see that once, say I start with the greens, if there's bits I can't find, I know exactly what piles are going to be in. Because if I'm doing greens and I'm missing a few bits, they're not going to be in the pinks, they're not going to be in the purples, they're only going to be in with these browns or in with these blues. So they should be easy to spot and sort. So what I'm going to do now is go on to the edges. I'm going to quickly try and get this edge done, and that'll be it for today, and then I'll pick it up again tomorrow. So I'm going to sort all this out, move it over, and go back into another time lapse of me doing the edges. Yes, that's the edge done. So that is not bad. So 56 minutes, I've got it out, looked at it all, sorted it, better stop it, sorted it, and I've done the edges. So I'm impressed with that. But that edge was not too difficult. The only bit I found difficult was this side here. But that was only because a lot of like this colour, the browns and purplies and these all kind of mixed into one. So what I did, I kind of went for bits that really stand out. You've got the oranges, yellows, light blues, brown and green. They all stood out like a sore thumb. So I got them straight away. I just put all them together, which then limited the amount of puzzle pieces that were left. So that when it was down to the ones that look kind of similar, all the purples, it was just a lot less to go through. So I found that a lot easier and simpler to do it that way. But yeah, that's it for this one. So next I'm going to start on one of the colours. Let's get this box quickly, shall we? So I think, looking at this, I'm probably going to go for the blues. I think the blues are standing out at me, and I'm going to try and do these blues and the light bits and try and blend all this in, and then slowly moving across. Right, so I can't remember what I said last time. I think I said I was going to start the blue pieces. However, I've decided I'm going to start the purples. So I'm going to get the purple pile. It's only small, so I don't think I've got everything there. But this side and this side, basically. So what I'm going to do is just move them over, start the timer. Yeah, it's quite nice having the piles. You can just chuck it in and kind of go from there.
Yeah, so I'm going to flip these up and then I'll start sorting. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do, now I've laid them all out, I can kind of see there's two types of purple. You've got these darky purples here and the lighty sort of purples here. And look at the picture, it kind of looks like you've got a clear dark side here and a light side here. So I'm going to try and separate them onto the two sides and then I'm going to start putting it all together. Right, so that's the first bit done. I've done, this edge is alright. I think I've got pretty much all the pieces there apart from one or two. However, these are these are the bits here, like the jigsaw bits, so I'm not too fussed about them because they're easily can be in a different pile. Now this side, now I've come to do it, I've missed a lot of these bits. Now they're likely to be in a pile where I've put sort of these bits in. It's really hard to sort them, but I've done well enough. So I think the next part is probably going to be to move on to the blues because I want to try and get this bit done. Okay, so that's me down to the last two piles. I've got a pile of the browns and a pile of the purples. So I'll quickly show you the puzzle. You can see how much I've done there. So I'm over halfway and I've just got this last little section to do. Now I'm going to try and do this now in the next setting. Unfortunately, I'm running out of space to have everything in show. So I'm going to, whilst I'm sorting all the bits out in here, I'm going to have to start putting some over on here. But I'm going to go straight into a time lapse and try and get this finished now.
Karen Puzzles, Colours on Colours, completed it. So that was a wicked little puzzle. A lot harder than I thought it would be. At first, when I first looked at it and looked at the colours on the box, you could see huge changes in colours. So I thought, although it's a gradient, which can be difficult, the gradient's only small sections. So I thought, that'd be fine, not a problem at all. Because all these contrasts in big colours is going to give you easy places to work from. So when I first went into it, I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to build the edges, start with colours, and then as you're going through the transitioning stages from colour to colour, I could literally look at, say, that line there, so all the pieces that have a blue and a green, I'd know exactly where they went, etc., across the board. However, when I was doing the colour sorting, it turned out when I colour sorted the green, for example, when I put all these out, I couldn't find all these bits. I don't know why, but they just didn't jump out at me. They were there, but they just didn't jump out. So it was a bit trickier. And another point was when you're looking at it, for example, you've got these really light green bits and these really dark green bits. When you've got the two next to each other, it's clearly obvious which goes where. I thought it'd be more like that throughout the whole thing. However, it wasn't. These bits are fine, but when you're doing like this middle ground, all the colours start to look as one. And when you're looking at so many of the same colour or similar colour for a long time, they just blur into one. So although it was sorted, it just took me a little time to get going. But then once I'd finally got into the rhythm, you'll see from the video that I started being slow and then it just picked up and got quicker as I went through. Now, another difficult point I had was colour sorting. Again, I got to, I think it was these brown orangey bits. I couldn't find most of the pieces. So most of the pieces when I was sorting were like down here. So for example, if you look around this part, that does, when you've got just the bits, look like it could be around here, could be up here. So I had things in the wrong piles all over the place. It wasn't a problem. Because I had it in such small piles and there was only a few bits missing, I could just go back later on, as I think you'll see when I was doing this section. I went through and I had loads of yellow bits. So at one point I thought the yellows were for this. However, there were all these bits here. So all these yellows on the browns were missing loads. So if you go back through the time lapse, you'd actually see that. So I got them at one point and I think I had a pile of 10, 12 pieces and it was just boom, 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 like straight in, like really quick, and got through it really well. But yeah, so I think the gradient caught me off guard and some of these darker bits just blended in with each other. However, it was really enjoyable, so I can't complain at all. And that's the challenge of a puzzle. You don't want it to be too easy. So I thought when I started this, I thought, it's going to take me 3.5, 4 hours. In the end, what was it? 5 hours, 42 minutes. However, I was doing it for camera, so there was a lot of time thinking. So while I'm doing it, I'm thinking, right, how can I do this to best look good on camera? So a lot of time was sat there just pondering in my own thoughts, really. Another point, a couple of times I forgot to stop it. So I'd finish the puzzle bit, I'd stop the camera, and the time was just ticking on. So, maybe it was about 5 minutes off that, if anything. But when you're trying to film and you're trying to time, you forget stuff all the time. But I'm very new to this, so it's going to get easier. Anyway, so that's all the bits I found difficult or challenging, which are obviously all good points. It sounds like I'm moaning, I'm not. They are good points because it made the puzzle more challenging. If I was to finish this in 2 hours, I'd be like, oh, okay, that's done. But yeah, the fact I spent, £30 on this puzzle, £20, and I got nearly 6 hours worth of entertainment out of it is good bang for your buck. So it works. But yeah, all in all, it's a very good puzzle. I think the time that Karen from Karen Puzzles spent to actually get this right and get the puzzle the way it was, again, there is a video I alluded to earlier, so I'll put a link in the description of that. But that video shows everything she went through, literally how she come about this. And yeah, she must have spent a long time, and it shows because the puzzle is really good. So really enjoyable. Anyway, so thanks for watching the video. I've had a real blast making this, and it's been interesting to do this puzzle. Yeah, if you've liked it, please like and subscribe, and feel free to comment. So she has another 2 in the range. So her first one she released was another 1,000-piece puzzle, or it was 1,000 and something. It was a unique number. I can't remember exactly what it was, but that's a puzzle with a difference. Now I've seen little snippets of it, and it kind of looks like a puzzle with little puzzle pieces inside. However, I'm intrigued to find that one out, but what I'll do, I'll find out if people actually like this one first. And the second one she did was a 3,000 piece. Now that one looks tricky. There's a lot more going on in the picture, but yeah, it looks a lot trickier. However, if you enjoyed this, please comment below and let me know your thoughts. And if you'd like me to tackle any of the other 2, the smaller one, the 1,000 and something piece, or the big 3,000 piece, please like and comment. And if there's enough interest, enough people liking it, what I'll do, I'll go and purchase one, and I'll get cracking for a video. If you enjoy this sort of content, please subscribe. There is some great ideas coming out. I've ordered a whole load of puzzles that should be coming later today, tomorrow. And that is all going to be geared towards one sort of video. I think this video is going to be brilliant, and at the start of it I'm going to be telling you some exciting news. So please subscribe and look out for that video. Yeah, and thank you very much. So one final thing to do is a pickup. So let's see if I can pick this piece up and hold it in front of the camera for you all. So I'm just going to go and set up the camera, and I'll be back ready for the pickup. Right, here we go. First things first, make sure it's all in properly, because when I pull this, I don't want it to fail and fall everywhere. So, first go, pull it tight, and hey, there we go. So I can see just near the bottom that's starting to fall out. However, it's done. So let me come across so you can see that close. And what I'm going to do, I normally destroy these, but I've got a few more bits I want to do with this. And before these parts come out, I'll lay it back down. So, hey, there we go. So only a few bits come out.